Hey guys, Philosopher here, and today we're going to talk about the Expendables. The characters on each team that you can gear less heavily, not put as much into them. There are also the characters that you're going to drop when you're trying to make a hybrid team for war, for example. This is a video I'm making really based on popular request. If you do have your own suggestions, certainly go to my Discord, which is linked below, and give me your suggestions there. I always take input from people on Discord and stream. So let's go right to it. These are, of course, my Blitz Squads. It would be nice if Scopely gave us some different tabs so I could show you my war teams or things like that. But we'll go with Blitz Squads, and we'll go team by team, and we'll talk about which characters are the least important. So, Black Order is one of those teams that there really isn't an expendable member because you need to have all 5 gems to empower, all 5 Infinity Stones to power Thanos up. So this is a team you're going to have to keep together. Symbiotes, though, two of the original symbiotes are often dropped on hybrid teams. So Carnage and Venom. And a lot of times people ask me, well, who should I drop, Carnage or Venom? And it really depends on the content. So, for example, in Dark Dimension, where the enemies have 1 million hit points, you would rather drop Carnage. Why is that? Well, the big thing Carnage brings to the table is the speed bar that he gives when people get low health. Well, if the enemy's got 100,000, million health or 3 million health, it's going to be harder to get him down. Whereas in another situation where, let's say, Venom to me he's actually a slow character. That's his biggest problem is his speed. 93, one of the slowest characters in the game. So, in other circumstances, it could be better to drop Venom. So, for example, in raids, people sometimes will drop, let's say, Venom and bring Yo-Yo, or drop, or something like that, or they'll drop Carnage and Venom and bring Black Bolt and Yo-Yo. But there are plenty of times where you need to drop, let's say, a Carnage or Venom and bring, put Zemo in, or, to get an advantage over the opposing symbiotes in war, things like that. So those are the expendable members there. On X Factor, there's really no expendable member. The way this team is you kind of have the dad bros who are the core of the team. They don't really need the other two to function. And I think the devs tune these two characters. And I don't think they intended for these two characters to be so OP. And so they undertune the next two. I think they're good characters, but they have the X Factor tag, which is great, so they get all the synergy, but they're not quite as awesome as these two. So you either run the Dad Bros in a hybrid team, or you drop either one of these. The only time you might want to just run 3 and just drop 1 would be if multiple man is timing you out, because his dupes just take up so much time off the clock. Heroes for Hire, there's no expendable member because you need the entire team to get the charges and so forth. Get the full benefit of all their kit. Shadowland's another team where if you drop a member, the team can be worse because they don't get as much speed. So, part of the advantage that they get is from, if you look at these passives on the team, they get speed bar based on how many Shadowland members are on the team. It must be on Daredevil here. Let's see, plus 10. So he gets plus 10 speed for himself. Okay, so no, that's not it. It's maybe it's on. There we go. On spawn, fill speed bar by 10% plus 5% per Shadowland ally. So they're going to get, one of the ways that Shadowland works right now is they get all the speed bar from the White Tiger passive on spawn, and then they're also really fast because they have that Daredevil passive as well that I just showed you. And so the fewer Shadowland allies you have, the less fill they have. Also, this team is so good that right now you want to keep the full team together. 8 months from now, will you drop a member? Maybe. And that member will probably be Daredevil or Elektra. but we're not there yet. We're there already with teams like X-Force, but X-Force is similar in that it gets speed bar based on the total team being, the number of members on the team being there. So, it's a mixed bag when you take a member off. So I think, certainly in the future, maybe Elektra, for example, is taken off. But right now, the full team is used together. She does apply Disrupt, and she does clear some debuffs and so forth. So she stays on for now. Skill military, you don't really want to drop anybody off this team. If you were going to drop a member off this team, it would have to be, I don't even know, because you really kind of need this entire team. I wouldn't drop Yelena or Black Widow. There are people who are like, I don't run Black Widow and I do okay. And yeah, that's fine. But this is clearly the best version of the team. The alternative is to run, Killmonger or to run Captain Marvel or something. But I don't think that the team is nearly as good. So I would keep the team together for now. On Supernatural, the expendable member is Elsa. You could tell I don't even have Elsa geared. I just throw her in. Even on Blitz, I don't put her on the team. Don't ignore this. This is because of Blitz. I throw Silver Surfer here. But usually, I'll run this team with Hela as the 5th. And they can take on certain opponents, but more of a niche team now. On X-Men, you really do want to have the entire team together generally, but the two worst members are clearly Kitty Pryde and Iceman. And so, a lot of people run hybrid teams, and I know a lot of folks, including on my own alliance, who are tight on ISO 5, and what they have done is, taken the 3, quote, good members of the X-Men in Beast, Jubilee, and Bishop, and then they've got the Dad Bros here or some other paramutants, usually the Dad Bros because they're trying to get X-Factor up for the Adam Warlock unlock. That works well. I do find the full team works better because having these two here and having them small means that they get low in health, which feeds speed bar to Beast, who's actually a very good character and important for the team. So if you see here, let's see here. There you go. When astonishing X-Men ally drops below 50% health, fill Beast speed bar and generate ability energy for Beast. But those are definitely the two expendables here. There aren't really an expendable member on Infinity Watch that I can see. I mean, the whole team works much better together, and they give a lot to the entire team. So I think this is a team that's really meant to be together, and I don't see an expendable member on this team. X-Force, this is a team that's gotten really power crept in the team that the character that people drop is Deadpool to add a better character now, just to punch the team up and more, get the team. I don't mean punch up on another team, but I mean for this team to be able to take on tougher opponents and more. I think we all know on Marauders that the expendable member is Sabretooth. Here's the funny thing, though. Sabretooth is a majority of the damage on the team. I mean, they're a team that relies otherwise on like mind control or cloning or whatever. But it's not enough for the team at this point, but he's definitely the least important member. On Brotherhood, generally, if you're running, let's say, Doom on it, you drop Pyro. That would be the character that you would drop. In other circumstances, you might drop Juggernaut. Those are kind of the two less important characters in the team. The core of the team now is really Magneto, Blob, and Toad. And then on Inhumans, the core of the team really is Black Bolt, Yo-Yo, and Crystal. Karnak and Quake are not important. I think eventually we'll get replaced by, other members of the Inhumans royal family or something. They're just filler for the most part and really perform limited functions in the team. On Sinister Six, the key core members really are Doc Ock, Swarm, and Electro. Everybody else is just sort of added for some particular purpose, right? Rhino protects you against blind. You can have Shocker to give offense up. Mysterio, can do certain things. For example, he can ability block an enemy or blind or, give a heal block out or whatever. But they all do some different stuff. He adds focus, I think, to the team. But none of them, vulture to slows for the enemy, but none of them are all that important. The real core members are those two chargeable Sinister Six, which is Electro and Swarm and Doc Ock. On the Mercs, the core members are clearly Merc Lieutenant, Merc, Riot Guard, and Taskmaster. Those 3 right here. You can add all sorts of combinations there. I mean, Taskmaster is the best additional Merc, and so people often run Taskmaster plus Shuri, which is what I do on my defense. People run Korath and Ultimus, but you have to have these 3 for the Mercs to work. Anybody else is, you could throw any other 2 Mercs on it, but if you don't have these 3, the team is not functioning right. For Wave 1 Avengers, the core of the team is going to be Cap, Hulk, and Thor generally. So the idea being that these 2 get a lot of take a lot of hits. They generate charges for Thor, and they heal up and they taunt and they alternate taunts, and then Thor, thumps people with his hammer or whatever. You really want to have a bigger Hulk than I do, and you really want to have a big Thor. I don't even run Thor here because he's not needed for Blitz. But that would be the team. Obviously, you also had Hawkeye and Black Widow on the team. That was the OG team. That was very strong. Now that people are moving Black Widow off, the team is not nearly strong with Captain Marvel and Cole. So this team's really taking a tumble. For Zemo, the core of the team really is, for a Hydra team, is Zemo, Red Skull, and Grenadier. And you need Grenadier to be higher damage than Zemo, which is not hard to do because Hydra Grenadier has one of the highest damage stats in the game. And the idea being is that when Grenadier dies, he's rezzed by Red Skull, and and then there you go. And he just has unlimited lives, and then Zemo does his thing. That's the core of the team. You can put other Hydra minions with them. You can put, like Hydra Sniper to give speed and offense up. You can put Winter Soldier to give some heal block. You could put a Drax or whatever there. Crossbones is not really very helpful in almost any scenario. Really not the best choice. But anyways, that's an option there. Those are the core of the team. The others are expendable. On Uncanny, the Expendables like Storm, whoever the 5th character is. So these 4 are the core, right? So it's particularly, if you're going to have 2 members on the team, okay, it's going to be Phoenix and Colossus. So you'd have a 3rd member would be Cyclops, and some people have him pretty big. After those 3, it's a big drop down to Psylocke. Psylocke, at the very least, will give out those evades to keep the good members alive, so that's good. And then she does that thing where she clears the debuffs. That's nice. Storm is just there. Okay, anybody else is just in that slot is just there. A Shield's a garbage team that I wouldn't build anymore or worry about. I literally just throw Kestra on it for Blitz. Fantastic Four, the expendable member is Torch. So people generally take him off and put on like Ultron. On him, the expendable member is Wasp. So she's the one who's left off if people are creating hybrid teams in Gamma, that sort of thing. After that, the key members really usually are Ghost and Stature. Stature can take the heat off Ghost and feed ability energy to Ghost. And then, Yellow Jacket's very good. Ant-Man has this like dueling taunt thing where he takes the taunt off Stature when she gets low in health, and so that can be valuable. He just keeps Stature up. Wasp is just kind of there. For Asgardians, Heimdall is the expendable member. He's just there basically just to be an additional Asgardian member and to protect him from blind from like Magneto. And that's basically it. The rest of these teams aren't worth building. Guardians are not worth thinking about, or Technerve are garbage. I will just say, I guess I could say for AIM, the core members are Scientist Supreme, Graviton, AIM Assaulter, and AIM Security. That's why I dropped the 5th member for Ultron. Like this would be like AIM Researcher or whatever. Not a great team though. And, for Power Armor, it's Iron Man is always dropped. You really generally want Red Skull with 4 minions if you're doing that kind of team. For Young Avengers, the core of the team is going to be Squirrel Girl, Miss Marvel, and then to the extent you have you can mix and match if you want to just do hero brawlers for the rest of the team. Those are the 2 that really make the team, although the team needs some help right now. So overall, look, those are the expendable members. What I would say to you is, people have been asking me all the time, can I get an infographic for every team in war and this and that. Right now, the meta changes a lot because every time new characters are introduced, we're hybridizing these teams, and old teams get power crept. We are trying to do things to punch up those teams. So it's useful to know which characters are expendable. So this way, kind of to invest how to invest in the best characters in the team and to make old teams into something that's usable. All right, guys, I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, smash that like button. Subscribe to this channel. If you have your own ideas for videos, put them below in the comments or go to my Discord. That's linked below. Also, check out my Twitch stream. That's linked below. I stream most weeknights, and certainly always a great place to get specialized feedback there.